This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. Rolex watches have long been a symbol of luxury and status. But in recent months, prices for these coveted timepieces have been falling. This is a significant shift, as Rolex watches have historically been exceptionally good at holding their value. There are a few reasons for this decline in prices. First, the global economy is slowing down, and people are less likely to spend large sums of money on luxury goods. During economic downturns or recessions, there is often reduced interest in luxury products, including high-end timepieces such as Rolex watches. In response to this decreased demand, sellers may choose to lower their prices in an attempt to entice potential buyers. Second, the cryptocurrency market has crashed, and many crypto investors have been buying Rolex watches to diversify their portfolios. Third, Rolex is increasing production, which is making its watches more readily available and less desirable to collectors. So, what does this mean for consumers? If you are interested in buying a Rolex watch, now may be a suitable time to do so. Prices are likely to continue to fall in the coming months, and you may be able to find a good deal on a used watch. Prices can also vary significantly based on the specific model, condition, and other factors. However, it is important to note that Rolex watches are still a luxury item, and prices are unlikely to fall back to pre-pandemic levels. In today's video brought to you by the Luxury World, we will be looking at the predicted Rolex watch prices in the coming period, and we will also take a look at the overall market trend. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, we encourage you to do so now to stay informed about our future videos. First and foremost, it is crucial to clarify that any discussions regarding future Rolex prices are purely speculative. We do not possess all the internal market processes, so please do not interpret our remarks as absolute facts. However, let us examine recent developments that might offer insights into what could potentially occur. If we look at the data provided by prominent watch market analysts, we can glean some valuable insights. When assessing the broader market, it becomes apparent that it experienced significant fluctuations. Initially, it started to rise at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, reaching its peak in early 2022. Subsequently, around May of this year, there was a slight dip followed by another decline. Nonetheless, it is important to note that this overall market trend does not necessarily apply universally to all watch brands. You might be familiar with some of the brands that have experienced the most significant declines. We are referring to popular choices like the Nautilus and Royal Oaks, which have started to lose some of their appeal recently. We have observed a cooling trend in these brands, with their popularity declining since their peak in mid-May 2023. They continue a downward trajectory. What is intriguing, however, is that on the opposite end of the spectrum, brands that are not typically considered part of the hype, such as Omega and Tag Heuer, have performed quite well. If we look at Omega, it has not returned to its peak but remains close. What sets Rolex apart is its ability to strike a balance between the more exclusive brands like Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe and the less hyped brands like Omega and Cartier. This makes Rolex a valuable gauge for assessing the overall market, reflecting a huge portion of the comprehensive market data. Most watches being bought and sold are Rolex, as they stand as the leading watch brand in terms of sales. However, what makes this particularly intriguing is that when we delve into Rolex's models, we notice some notable developments that prompt us to question whether now might be the right time for enthusiasts to consider investing in a Rolex. Rolex prices may return to pre-pandemic levels. That scenario seems unlikely. Nevertheless, it does seem that they have reached a point where it makes sense for someone looking to hold onto a Rolex for an extended period, say 5 or 10 years. This is precisely what many collectors and enthusiasts have been patiently waiting for. Let us start with a Rolex model that, quite unexpectedly, has come closer to its recommended retail price than anyone ever thought possible. Well, it is there, but not entirely. Take, for instance, the Rolex Daytona with reference 116500LN with the black bezel. At their peak, these watches commanded prices in the range of £35,000 to £40,000. It was an elusive timepiece, impossible to acquire at its RRP. Strangely, the white dial version has managed to maintain strong demand, still hovering in the high £20,000. However, the black dial variant has seen its value dip, now residing at the lower end of the £20,000. Its RRP stands at £12,700, so it has not reached that level, but it is getting closer. It is getting close enough to the point where significant changes in its value are less likely. The real challenge here is figuring out the right time to purchase before prices start to rise again. The issue with that watch is that it is a discontinued model. It is no longer the latest Daytona. However, some individuals might prefer it precisely because it lacks that odd metal ring around the bezel. It is a classic Daytona. A comparable situation arises with the no-date Submariner with reference 114060, another discontinued model. It is incredibly close to its recommended retail price, within arm's reach. Then there is the Explorer 2 with a black dial, which is a current model and at our RP. Curiously, black dial models do not perform as well as their white dial counterparts. People are drawn to the freshness of white dials, making them a popular choice. If we turn our attention to the early GMT ceramics, specifically the 116710LN, it is now available at our RP. Similarly, the Yachtmaster 116622 with a blue dial has reached its RRP as well. While, in many of these cases, we are talking about older or discontinued models, they are close enough to our RP that you can obtain a ceramic GMT, Yachtmaster, or Submariner ceramic without the need to wait in a queue. What is particularly advantageous about these models is that being part of the Rolex collective, they tend to move in sync in terms of value fluctuations. For many individuals who have had a simple desire over the past 5 years, whether it is for a Submariner or a Daytona, specifically the black dial version, minus the fancy extras, it is beginning to seem like an opportune moment to consider dipping into their savings and preparing to make that purchase. Another concern to consider is that the question remains, will these prices and demand levels soar once more, or do you believe they are stabilizing? This sentiment is echoed by reports of people now obtaining models that used to be on waiting lists almost immediately or within a month or two. For instance, they can now get a black dial or black bezel Submariner without a long wait. This suggests that the market's cooldown is also due to an increase in supply. In the long run, this is beneficial. Having excessive hype in the market is not conducive to long-term stability. Purchasing a Rolex as an investment is not about buying one now to sell it for twice the price in 6 months. It is about acquiring a Rolex to enjoy and keep for 5 to 10 years, knowing that if you ever had to sell it, you would at least recoup your investment. We appreciate the idea of cutting through the noise, enabling everyone to enjoy the watch they desire without too many complications. Of course, they are highly desirable, and saving up for one is often necessary. However, the goal is to be able to see the watch you want and purchase it at a price that makes you content, without having to jump through hoops. Overall, the decline in Rolex prices is a sign of the changing times. It is also a reminder that luxury goods are not immune to economic downturns. Rolex prices will continue to decline in the coming months as the global economy remains uncertain and the supply of Rolex watches continues to increase. However, it is possible that prices will stabilize at some point, and some models may even see a rebound in price. What are your thoughts on the Rolex price update we discussed in this video? We would love to see your comments and opinions in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you let us know by leaving a comment and giving it a thumbs up. Do not forget to follow our channel for more content. Thank you for watching The Luxury World, and we look forward to having you join us in our upcoming videos.